say, 17-year-old speaker we have?
The youngest
ever.
Mm-hmm.
We are really proud to have him on stage, and he has a very good story for you, something that he feels very strong about. So let's encourage him, and Tim, please, the floor is yours.
The importance of the other species. Right now, there are 8.7 million species on our Earth, and they all need each other, because they are part of one big circle. And this big circle is called the ecosystem. After a few seconds, right now, you will see a small ecosystem. And as you can see, that's only a small circle, but in real it's one big circle. And all those animals rely on each other. So if one animal extincts, it will have big consequences for the other animals and for us. I will show you 4 examples. This is the biggest mammal on Earth, the elephant. And during their life, they make big trips through the African continent. And during these trips, they plant a lot of trees. And these trees are important to keep the rainforests, because otherwise they would turn by erosion into deserts. And we need those trees because of the photosynthesis, because they create oxygen for us. The next example is maybe the most important species on Earth, the honeybee. And right now, every year, there are dying 30% of the population of the honeybees. And we need them for the pollination. On our Earth are 110 different food sources, and 75% of them rely on the bees. When there are less bees on this planet, we should have a big problem for our food chain. When you look to our supermarket, we have right now, you will see it on the left side, a lot of choices for food. But if the bees extinct, we would have a very big problem. As you can see on the right side, the supermarket is almost empty. And that happens when the bees extinct. The next example is a chimpanzee, one of the primates. And those primates are also called the gardeners of the rainforest. And that's because they keep the biodiversity inside. But we as humans can also learn a lot of them. And that's because they are for 90% equal to us, or even more. This is the bad, and maybe it is not expected, and maybe this example will surprise you, but it's one of the 5 most important species for the humans. And that's because they eat insects. Otherwise, we would have big insect pests, as you can see on this picture. And those will destroy our agriculture. But we need them also for something else. A lot of insects have illnesses with them. For example, the mosquitoes. And maybe the most famous example of an illness is the malaria. And without those bats, we would have a lot more illnesses on this earth, and also a lot more people will die on it. And just like those 4 species, all the 8.7 million species on this earth are very important for us. But instead of preserving them, we are right now busy to destroy these species. Naturally, one of the million species should extinct every year. But right now, it goes 100 times faster. And it's even worse, because they expect that in 100 years, 50% of the species is extinct. And that's not because of the nature, but it's because of us as humans. And examples why they extinct is because of the wildlife trafficking, or as you can see on this picture, because of the hunting, and especially the gannet hunting. But maybe the biggest problem for those species is that the people cut a lot of trees down every second. And those trees are important for their habitat. They live inside those trees and inside those rainforests. But we as people need them also, as I mentioned before, for the oxygen. We cut them right now for short-term profit. But we could better do this in a sustainable way. Then we would have a long-term profit. We think that all the species need to have respect. They deserve it. And that's why we should keep them in the natural rainforest or in the natural desert or where they need to be on this beautiful planet Earth. And that's why we funded 4 years ago our organization Red de Aarde, translated in English, Save the Earth. And it's weird because often people say that we are the most intelligent species on Earth. But why should we then destroy our one and only planet? And we think that all the species deserve their freedom, like this bird. And a lot, every day that we as people are on this planet, we make a change to this world. And we need to decide, all of you, or we want to make a positive side, or we want to cooperate with those animals, or that we want to make a negative choice. And all those positive changes are working on a better world, on our beautiful Earth, for the people, but also for these animals. Thanks a lot.